Here we come.
Now the world don't move.
And you knew where you were then.
Exciting and new.
Good time.
Anytime you need a payment.
You take a good, you take a bad, you take them all, and there you have the facts of life.
It's TV Talkaholics in your ear holes. Thank you for downloading and pressing play. I'm David, and this is Matthew. Hi, Matthew.
Hi, David.
You're feeling better than you did last month? Are you healed and well
No.
and unill now?
Me feeling better is it's an oxymoron, and that I always feel like I'm about to die at any given moment.
Oh,
But
bless your heart.
whatever.
Oh. So are you ready to talk about the Brady Bunch?
Well, here's the story of a man named Brady.
Mm-hmm. Who was busy.
He's busy. Oh,
Mhm.
that busy old queen.
Yeah. Who was busy designing a house with 2 bedrooms for 6 children.
And no toilets.
No toilet. Yeah, I was going to mention that. Let's jump way ahead, jump far, far ahead. Fuck the original. Let's talk about the most recent thing, which was the Very Brady renovation on HGTV. Did you watch any of that?
We talked about that 100 years ago.
I feel like we did too. It is amazing.
I mean, it seems like, oh, this is cool, but I wouldn't want to live in that. Like it would be like one of those things where it's like, oh God, I have orange fucking carpet. Okay.
Yeah, what happens
God.
when the orange Formica counters start to show their age and
Right. Like it's cool
yeah.
to like walk through and like take your picture in the house and everything, but like I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to live in that piece of shit. I wouldn't. I mean,
But to me, I bear in mind, I love a makeover show anyway. I love, Property Brothers or whatever type of show. So the way they so authentically redid it, even though, as has been stated so many times, that the exterior of the house does not match the interior. So the
why
way
don't people understand that? Why don't people comprehend that?
I don't get it either.
Like when the Golden Girls house was for sale and you could finally actually see inside the real Golden Girls house, it was like, people were like, oh, I thought it would look like this. Why would you think that?
Yeah. Where's the couch with the flower cushions? Yeah.
Idiots. But the same people write into the Office ladies and go, when Michael ran over Meredith, was that scripted? Or was that, did he improv that?
Yeah. When Jim looked at the camera,
Yeah.
I think it looks more like John looking at the camera, John Krasinski, more than Jim.
Ugh.
You know, the way he eats his carrots and stuff. But anyway, so a Very Brady renovation. Guys, if you are a listener of this podcast, if you are here and you can hear our voices, the assumption is you got some connection with the Brady Bunch. Good God, how could you not?
Yeah.
And so if you haven't watched, I know they're streaming somewhere, and I feel like it's not all the episodes, but it might be on Hulu. But watch some of them because it gets the David seal of approval because they went hardcore into replicating everything to the point where they took photographs from stills from the original show and projected the stone wall onto the fireplace so that the stonework and the grouting where the shape of the stones is identical. And I am here for it. I love it because they were so detailed about it. And spoiler alert, they go to Sherwood Schwartz's daughter, who made many appearances throughout the series as various girls and dates for the boys and stuff. She had one of the original Kitty Carryall dolls still after all these years. And she contributed it. And the Kitty Carryall doll is sitting there on Cindy's bed at the end of it. And if you have Max, you can watch the Trixie Mattel series, Trixie Motel, where she fixes up the motel. in Palm Springs. And one of the episodes is to get some inspiration from the 70s flower power thing. Trixie goes to the Brady Bunch house in, it's not in it's in Los Angeles. I forget
And
what.
like Sherman Oaks or something like
That
that.
sounds right. That sounds right. Yeah. So it's there, but anyway. And then
Which is
speaking,
interesting because it's really more of a late 60s design.
oh
Because
God, yeah. Oh no, it's very mid. The show started in 69. Hell yeah. And they never updated that shit.
Mm-mm.
Well, until the very Brady Christmas movie.
Which I was there for.
We've talked about that. In fact, I had to dig up. I actually took a video where I just pointed my phone at the TV screen where I found it somewhere just to show the beginning part while the credits are rolling in the very Brady Christmas movie is Mike saying, well, Carol, I already have your Christmas present. It's hidden somewhere in the house. So there's this montage while the credits are rolling of Mike walking around the house and Carol following him, thinking he's going to tell her where her present is. And that gives them reason to literally explore and show us what does the Brady house now look like in the 80s with
I would have rather had that than
oh
the original.
no, I'll take the original any day. I love it so much. But bear in mind, I was the perfect age. I was born in 68. This show came on in 69, and my sister was 3 years older. So this was must-see appointment television on Friday nights in our household. And I think we didn't even have a color TV at that point. I think we still had a 19-inch black and white in those early days.
Mm. Which is
So
interesting because I was watching this on Paramount Plus and it starts with that logo, the Brady Bunch in color.
yeah. And you're like, what? Really?
That was,
This is an episode from 71.
yeah.
It's like, hello, all TV has been in color since 1966, FYI. So it's been 5 years. What is the, I don't know. I don't get that either. But anyhow, so my obsession with the Bradys started at a very, very, very young age. We talked about this when we talked about the Partridge Family. So talk to me, Matthew, about you and how are you relating to this show?
It was on heavy reruns when I was in school. Like after school, it would be on at like 4 o'clock or something like that.
Mhm.
Or back when, I don't know if you remember this, but when TBS was out,
Oh, the
all their
Superstation, yeah.
all their shows started at 5 minutes after.
Mm-hmm.
So that they would get a special listing in the TV guide.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like at 4:35, the Brady Bunch would come on, and I used to challenge myself to tell which episode it was, like just from like the first 3 seconds.
Dude, again, more confirmation how many things you and I share in common. I used to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I was at college and we were at a frat house or something. I forget why. It was like a rehearsal for a play and we were hanging at one of the dudes' frat houses and someone turned on the TV and flipped the channels and it was literally ba ba ba-dum 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 bum ba-dum. And I went, this is the one where Greg is the head of the football team and Marcia and the girl he's dating are both auditioning to be cheerleaders and he has to choose between them.
Yeah.
And the entire room sort of did a slow turn and take to me like, what? And then it became very
1,
clear
2,
I
tell
was
me
right.
1, 2, tell me who are you?
The Bears.
3, 4, tell me who's gonna score?
The Bears.
The borderline Northwest performance.
Mm-hmm.
5, 6, tell me who's gonna lick? I don't know.
Who's got the shits? I don't know.
But
yeah, and my thing is I saw it in the first run and again, I was young, people. I was between 1 and 6. This show was gone by the time I was 7. So then I started watching it in the reruns in the heavy rotation. And that's where shows, by repetition, and kids love repetition, as did I. I was no exception. And so watching them over and over and over again. In Channel 56 in Boston would show two. It was the Brady Bunch Hour. They would show two of them back to back every mofo day.
Well, it wasn't the Brady Bunch Hour. That was a different incarnation.
Oh, yes. Yeah. No. They called it the Brady Bunch Hour, but it does predate the Brady Bunch Variety Hour. But you already said that you watched this on Paramount Plus. That's where it is available right now. Very briefly, season 2 was on Prime Video. And as of this recording, I think it's about to go away. And I think it will be gone by the time the episode drops the beginning of July. And again, I don't understand streaming, why things come and go. It's like, why don't they just sit there in case someone... Really? You don't have another hard drive in that warehouse full of hard drives where you could store another season of a show?
Because you've got Tubi, you've got to keep room on Tubi for Baby Daddy starring the Wayans brothers.
Oh, Jesus.
It's like every movie you don't want to watch on these free things. It's so funny to me. Like, you spend your whole time going through them, and then you're like, well, that was an hour. I guess I'm not going to watch anything.
And particularly the free services or the services that offer some stuff for free. Like, you ever pop over to it was called Voodoo. It's where you can keep your digital copies of your own stuff, but Voodoo has some free content as well. And when you look at it and you're like, what? I
didn't even know this movie existed.
Exactly. This is an animated movie from 1997 that didn't exactly. The content is so obscure, and oh my God, it's so funny. You know, like, but the Brady Bunch, but really Prime Video, it's costing you that much to rent it from there. But anyway, the good news is this episode, which is, by the way, season 2, episode 15, called "Will the Real Jan Brady Please Stand Up?"
Please stand up.
Please stand up. Which had an original air date of January 15th, 1971. Thankfully, some kind soul took it and put it on their Facebook page. So look in the show notes if you really want to watch this. And I swear to God, if you're listening, I'll bet you in your mind you're saying right now, I don't need to watch it. I saw it 25,000 times 20 years ago. It's still in my brain. It's still there. As you and I describe it, Matthew, they're going to be like, yep, remember that very clearly. But there is a video on Facebook, but it's one of those where they pitched the sound higher so that they can't get caught by the copyright police. So I call it the free helium bootleg, I guess is what I call it. So there's that. And just last sort of random thing about this is there's a great podcast called The Real Brady Bros. And it's Barry Williams and Christopher Knight, who were Greg and Peter, doing a rewatch podcast, often with the other siblings as guests.
Oh, I would like to listen to that.
They do a very nice job with it. Barry is a little bit of a talker. And, you know, who wants to listen to a person who just yap, talks on a podcast? I don't know why anybody would want to listen to someone who behaves that way. I mean, just going on and on.
Two middle-aged white guys just thinking that they got their opinion matters.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
So, but it is really good. And they've done most of the episodes, but guess what? This is one that they have not yet tackled. But I did listen to a different one where they had Eve Plumb on. It's the one where Jan is like, I wish I didn't have any brothers and sisters. And so they're like, fine, as far as you're concerned, we're invisible. And so now Jan's not going to the hoedown. So this is the hoedown and the potato sack race episode. So many episodes have things you're like, oh my God, that's right, the potato sack race. But yeah, Eve Plumb was on it, and it was really fascinating. Barry Williams does ask good questions where he says, Eve, you know, Chris and I have been watching these, and I have watched them and seen them enough, and at my advanced age, because Barry Williams is like pushing 70 now. He says he can watch them now and just watch them. He doesn't, you know, watch himself. He doesn't analyze his performance. he's beyond all that. So he says, I just watch them now the way that the fans have enjoyed them, and it's taken me a long time to get here. And Eve Plumb is like, I am decidedly not in that place. I look at this and see the glasses and the braces and the curls around my face that my mother made me wear, those fucking sponge rollers on the side of my head every night before I went to bed. And she's like, just, in being publicly having to go through puberty is just so difficult. And it was really fun because Eve Plumb is fucking cool. I really like her when I've seen her in interviews. So anyway, the Brady Bros, give it a listen, because one of the things I like about The Office Ladies is, unlike our show where we're just talking about it, they really do have interesting insight, and they do remember a lot of, particularly like The Office Ladies, it's 10 years, 12 years gone. Fine. Of course you remember shit. But when this show is over 50 years old.
Yeah.
And they're still like, I remember I had to do 3 different takes with this. I remember that, I kept flubbing up this line. And so I if you're kind of a little bit Brady obsessed, I think I might have a new podcast that I have to listen to every fucking episode of, because I have nothing but time to listen to more shit and process and digest more content. And Eve Plumb, good friends with Mindy Cohn.
Yeah.
As recently as last month, Mindy Cohn posted a picture of herself, Eve Plumb, and some other mutual friend of theirs hanging out and chilling in New York City.
Yeah.
So if Eve Plumb is good friends with our close personal friend, Mindy Cohn, Eve Plumb is therefore a friend of ours. But I bring up the podcast not just because it's good, but here's the funniest thing. Just in the one episode I listened to, it was actually a 2-parter, the one about Jan Brady Invisible episode. They say, watch the DVDs because there's stuff missing when you watch the streaming versions. Kind of similar to how we have dealt with the Facts of Life, even though at times there's stuff missing from the DVDs of the Facts of Life. Do you know where the title, Matthew, Will the Real Jan Brady Please Stand Up, comes from, Matthew?
I do. It comes from an Eminem song that was written, Will the real Slim Shady please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up. I'm the real Shady. Yes, the real Shady. I'm the real Jan Brady. Yes, the real Jan Brady. Please stand up. Please stand up. You're welcome.
That is correct. Absolutely. That's
actually, I think that song came from this. So
yeah, maybe we got a chicken and an egg situation, but
I think it has more to do with Gary Moore, doesn't it?
Gary Moore and a little game show called To Tell the Truth. This was a show where the game was, and I think it's still on. I think there's some syndicated version of it that's still running on, the fucking Goodyear or Fanta network or whatever the fuck, the KY station. But it's where they
isn't the current one the one with what's his guts from Blackish and his mother?
Anthony Anderson. Yes, Blackish. Anthony Anderson.
I can't handle the producers have told people to be so obnoxious and so energy. Like it's just not real. It's not interesting to me to watch people just be so fucking ridiculous. Like I like real people. I like when Sharon from Minnesota was in California and got on the Match Game.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Yeah.
Wore her best outfit. This is what her hair looks like.
Yeah.
Like, so I just, everybody's like, how it is. Everybody's auditioned. They're all actors that have auditioned for this. So, because like you get on what was that, backstage.com or whatever, you put your profile in like to get auditions. And every audition was for Deal or No Deal or some like fucking game show or whatever. So it's also manufactured now.
It is truly. But To Tell the Truth had, according to Wikipedia, 6 different incarnations,
Yes.
6 different versions, dating as far back as 1956. And the Anthony Anderson version ran from 2016 to 2022. So I guess it's not on at the moment. But what it is they bring out panelists, and one of the people is a special person or an author or swam the English Channel or something. And the other 3 people are imposters.
Mhm.
And then the panel asks them questions to try to see if they can vet out who might be the real person, and if the answers don't quite jibe with someone who should know what the fuck they're talking about.
Even
So,
though those people have no idea what they're talking about.
oh God, no.
So,
No, but that's it. So literally the game could be called bullshitting. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, who can bullshit the best? And then finally, after all the questions have been asked and they run out of time, the panel gets to pick whether it's number 1, 2, 3. It's 4 people, isn't it? Or is it 3?
the old ones are 3. I don't know what the new ones
Maybe
are.
it's 3 or 4, but I might be thinking of the Liars Club. But anyway, so of the 3 people the panelists pick, I think it's number 2. And the panelists are celebrities. Like, you know, we're talking Kitty fucking Carlisle and Peggy Cass. The A-list celebrities of the 70s, you know, and they would write down who it is. And then the host of the show turns to the 3 guests and says, will the real Matthew Arter please stand up?
Yeah.
And they all do this little game of everyone pretending to stand, and this one and that one. And who's, oh, is it him? No, it's him. It's number 2.
It has always been funny to me though, because like that takes a certain amount of improv ability. And they'll be like, what is your real name and what do you do for a living? And they'll be like, well, I'm David Almeida and I'm in charge of the carpet section at Murphy's department store.
Yeah.
How did this asshole
Yeah.
just fucking come up with all these answers about doing the Iditarod, for God's sake?
I wonder if they're actors. Like, it's a common thing with game shows. A lot of actors are contestants on game shows. And let's face it, if you're an actor in Los Angeles, you have another job. You have another career. You got something. You have to, if you're still doing the game show circuit. So, like my friend Martin was on, he was on Win Ben Stein's Money. And he originally, when he worked down here, he worked, you know, at Sluice, and he did Universal. I think he did the Fountain at Universal. And he also was a toy demonstrator at FAO Schwartz when we had a Schwartz down here. And I think that was one of the jobs he did when he moved to LA. So he was introduced as Martin Kunz. He's a toy demonstrator from New York, because he's originally from New York, or they might have said from Orlando. But it's like, no, he was an actor living in Los Angeles trying to be an actor.
Right.
So I wonder if that's it. But I totally agree with you. I forget when I was watching it, but a guy was like, you know, I'm a financial accountant for a sports team.
Yeah.
Or some weird shit. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
But I have this amazing ability to bullshit about climbing Mount Everest.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. It's like, what was your body temperature 3 days into the thing? 92.0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why? And it's on the Buzzer channel, the old To Tell the Truth.
Maybe that's it. Maybe I was scrolling through because, you know, the Buzzer channel is on Pluto, and I'll pull up Pluto to scroll through and watch an old Three's Company or a Laverne and Shirley or something.
Yeah,
But
it's on the Buzzer channel a lot.
But
I don't like the 70s version. Everybody's so gross.
It's so dingy. Like everyone has a film on it, and the host is fucking. I mean, I'm sorry, he's unattractive. He was
Gary Moore.
Is
That's Gary Moore.
Is that Gary Moore?
It is.
It
is.
Okay,
He
you're
was
right.
the
It is.
original, huh?
And now it's that he was the guy with the show that put Carol Burnett on the regular. So he was like a variety show guy. You would never know it with his hosting abilities. He was no Wink Martindale.
Well, he was like an Ed Sullivan.
Yeah.
He was there to facilitate the talent.
Yeah.
like a Johnny Carson type, but Johnny
Yep.
Carson was just a little more dapper.
Yeah.
But
Back to the Brady Bunch. Matthew,
yeah,
did you watch
yeah,
the animated Saturday morning show?
I did not.
Did you watch the variety show, the Brady Bunch Variety Hour?
I did not.
Did you watch the Brady Brides reunion movie in 1981?
I did not. I've seen all of these things since, but I did not watch them like first run.
Bitch, I watched every single one of these things in real time.
Mm,
And then, of course, the Brady Bunch movie came out in 1995, the one with Shirley Long and Gary Cole, which kind of brought it to a whole new generation. And
mm.
that was a funny ass movie.
Yeah, it was.
And for my money, I think the Very Brady sequel in 96 is even funnier. I think I like it even better than I do the first one.
It relies on a lot more original material. Like the first one is just kind of like, oh, here's some
Yeah.
Brady Bunch jokes, and but the second one, but God, don't watch the Bradys go to the White House.
Oh,
Oof,
no.
that got pain. It got again, people
Painful. That was where
painful.
they kept Shelley Long and Gary Cole. And was Alice the same?
Oh, probably. I
Yeah,
don't.
but
What else?
all the
What the fuck
kids,
else should she have to do?
all the kids were recast, and it was a TV movie, The Brady's Go to the White House, and it's just unwatchable.
Mm,
As is the attempt to do The Brady's as an adult drama, like 30
yeah,
something in the late
yeah.
80s. That is painful. We've talked about Florence Henderson singing the opening theme in
Mm,
her operatic. Oof.
yeah.
But
Bless her heart.
anyway, I watched all of these. I loved most of them. I am really of the generation where it's just something that is completely bonded with my DNA. So my love for the Bradys and the Brady Bunch, even though the show is kind of considered to be shitty and awful, Barry Williams does point out that Sherwood Schwartz's original idea was the lesson of the show overall should just be learning to get along. That's what this is about, is a blended family. And
Mm,
even though they did so with some cheesy ass mofo premises
yeah.
and some questionable performances, I mean, what do you expect? You have 6 kids. You're going to get a mixed bag of results from that. Come on.
I was thinking that as I was watching this, like they had a lot of characters to work into this. Like when they showed Bobby and Greg playing basketball, I was like, oh God, they had to create something for these kids to be doing
Yeah.
the entire time. Like even at Cindy's, her only thing was, I need to find my hair ribbons.
Yeah.
That was the only thing she had to do this whole episode.
Yeah.
So an easy week for little Susan Olsen.
Yeah.
But
Thuthan. Yeah, it's true. You do have to say, this is a tall order. 6 kids, and you theoretically want to give them all something to do.
yeah,
And, they're on the fucking payroll, make them work. And then you have the parents, and they can't take second back seat. They have to be in charge. You got to have your wacky stuff for Alice to incorporate. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, we dealt with that with the first season of The Facts of Life, where they're sitting around. It's okay. We have to have a line for Sue Ann, and then a line for Molly, and then a line for Cindy. And, that's not easy to do. And you do got to give the show its props for how light Susan Olsen it is. But yeah, but when we get back to Peter, and I think I had the same thought balloon that you did when it was like, oh God, that's right. We still have a lot more kids.
mm,
And yet when Jan comes home from school in the very first shot of the episode, house is empty. House is
yeah,
quiet. She's just like, la, 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 puts down her books on the steps, la, 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 goes into the kitchen. It's so funny because you're like, 6 kids now, it would be bedlam. There would not be a clean surface in
no.
that house. There would not be a floor you could walk on without tripping and breaking your fucking ankle.
Well, they do have a housekeeper, so I
True.
mean,
and a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
I've thrown that shade out there going,
Mm.
okay, you have 6 kids, Carol, but you don't work.
Mm.
And you have a live-in housekeeper. Really? So I guess that does justify it, I suppose. I'm not going to talk about the history. There are so many historical documents, videos. Go to YouTube. You will find 24 of them in your first search where you're like, oh, gee, originally they wanted Joyce Bulifant to be the mother, but then they were like, oh, maybe the mother shouldn't be wacky. Maybe Alice, the maid, should be wacky. And then they used Ann B. David. I mean, all that stuff, the casting of the kids. People, again, if you're listening to this, you probably already know it.
Mhm.
So before we get into actually going through the plot of the show, just 2 things, 3 things, 3. Number 1, the connection to this, of course, with the facts of life is we have the wonderful Eve Plumb, who played the part of Blair's stepsister in The Facts of Life, season 4, episode 17, called Best Sister. Arguably one of the worst episodes of the entire series,
How dare you?
where Joe goes off and suddenly decides Joe wants to be a nun. And then Joe hits Blair, punches Blair.
Yeah.
That's a 2-parter. And again, I have said before, I want that struck from the canon. Sorry, Eve Plumb. Love you, mean it. But this was a terrible episode. I was watching an interview with Lisa Whelchel, and apparently in an earlier draft of the script, Eve Plumb is the one who punched Blair. And there was an accident where, she aimed wrong or whatever. So Lisa Whelchel has a story of Eve Plumb actually punching her in rehearsal. Did you hear this, or am I making in my mind?
I didn't hear that, but
I feel like anyway. So Eve Plumb is, of course, the primary connection to the facts of life. But I was surprised to discover another one in the very opening credits of this episode. Matthew, did you notice? Produced by Howard Leeds.
I saw that.
And did that ring a little bell with you?
It did ring a little dingy.
Mm-hmm. Every single episode of The Facts of Life, ladies and gentlemen, and others, developed by Howard Leeds, Ben Starr, and Jerry Mayer. So, yeah, Howard Leeds is one of the creative forces behind the camera that is connective tissue between the Brady Bunch and The Facts of Life. And then we also have another connection to our show, is that we talked about Frank Duvall, who wrote the theme song of the Brady Bunch. Remember, we discussed him because he was the one playing the violin in the restaurant of the episode of Different Strokes, where the Facts of Life girls were at a sleepover with Kimberly, and Willis was being an asshole, and Phil
Yes.
Drummond had snatched himself a sweet piece of ass because, that
Yes.
sex machine known as Phil Drummond.
Yeah. They couldn't resist Conrad Bain's ascot.
So putting him firmly in the pussy posse with Dick Van
Yeah.
Patten and Gabe Kaplan
And Bill Daly.
and Bill Daly and Richard Dawson and Ed Burns. I'm sure we have some others in there too, but anyhow, those are the ones that come to mind. So yeah, anyhow, we've talked about Frank Duvall, who wrote the theme song, and we were like, why is he in this episode of Different Strokes playing the dude who plays the violin at the restaurant? And again, is that really a thing? Is there really a violin player at any restaurant anywhere, or is that just a TV trope?
I hope not. Because I'm not making eye contact.
Yeah.
It's like when the balloon animal guy walks by at TGI Fridays. I'm like, don't make eye contact. I don't want to be involved.
I hear you. So Matthew,
Yeah.
I can talk for hours and hours and hours and hours about the Brady Bunch.
Okay.
But I'm not going to. Let's go into the synopsis, shall we?
Yeah. This is a great episode.
It is, isn't it?
And what's so funny to me is that, like, right at the very beginning, I was like, you get taken back to that pacing of those shows. And I'm like, you have 6 kids and 3 adults you've got to talk to. There should be no wasted time in this episode. but there were so many shots of like at the very beginning, Marcia like just shrugging and
Yeah.
doing, it's like, oh my God, that would never happen today. It would be so
No.
quick. And it's the pacing of it was just so slow and not bad. It's just interesting to
Just
me that they would
more
waste time.
chill. Definitely
Yeah.
of its time. I hear you. Perfect example. Jan coming in, like I said, Jan comes in the front door, the very first shot, and this is where we get the bum bum ba-dum,
And
ba-dum.
it's like a minute and a half.
Yeah. And of course, before that, we get the exterior shot of the house. So we have that included as well. But yeah, she comes in and not with any sense of urgency or whatever, because it's just, I'm coming home from school, and she's taking her shit off and leaving it on the stairs, on the edge of the stairs, which is weird. She could have just left it there on the buffet next to the horse. But anyway, as she does it, and then languidly strolls into the kitchen. And if you think of it, nowadays, if they were packaging these for syndication, you would have had that exterior shot. Boom, it would have cut to Jan walking into the kitchen, and they would have retitled and had the titles running while the dialogue in the scene was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, they didn't overlap that. So that's so funny. But yeah, so Jan comes into the kitchen, and Marcia and Carol are there. And Marcia gives Jan an invitation to Lucy Winter's birthday party.
Lucy Winters?
Jan is puzzled. Why did Marcia open up her invitation to Lucy's birthday party? Well, Lucy accidentally put Marcia's name on the invite. And honestly, to her credit, Marcia says, I called her up and asked her what was going on. And it was just an accident. I just meant to put Jan's name and I put your name. Okay, cool. That was nice of Marcia to make the call and clarify it.
But what a weird.
I know. It's as the, again, precipitating event for this episode. After Marcia leaves, Jan goes into the family room, the room with all the paneling, God bless it, and complains to her mother that people keep forgetting who I am. This happens all the time. I'm always Marcia's younger sister or Cindy's older sister. Being in the middle is like being invisible.
Meanwhile, Katie Carryall has made an appearance.
Kitty Carryall.
What's her pussy? Florence is picking up the Kitty Carryall doll.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I just like that. I just think that's cool. Like that they were like, what can we be doing? Where's that fucking Kitty Carryall doll?
Yeah, when in doubt.
Throw it in here and fucking pick up something that is actually canon in the show.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, true. Exactly. It wasn't just a random kitty carrier. And funny thing, it also makes me think of Boo Boo Kitty on Laverne and Shirley. Boo Boo Kitty was a very strong through line, to the point where there's an episode of Laverne and Shirley where they're being laid off like 3 weeks without pay because whatever, profits are down. So they're pissed off. They're like, well, what the fuck? It's like being fired, but we're not fired. We still have our jobs, but 3 weeks with no pay. So they're cleaning out their lockers. And Shirley pulls out Boo Boo Kitty. It's like, wait, what? She sleeps with this. What do you mean you don't bring that to work? It was so, but they just needed something. Again, at least they were trying. But anyway, this is interesting because we didn't have time to watch the entire series. We're only in season 2. We're only halfway through season 2. And I'm thinking this is very early in the Jan Brady journey of middle child syndrome.
Yeah.
Where Jan really does, as a through line, Jan kind of always does struggle to find her identity and find her place. And I think this might be the beginning of it. Of course, listeners comment if you have a better current working knowledge of the Brady Bunch. I don't have that. But Jan picks up a magazine and sees an ad for some wigs. And the ad says, which one will stand out in a crowd?
The one in the horrible wig. The one with a fucking skunk on her head. Jesus.
And her response is, Jan Brady will. That's who. Dun, da, 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 dum, ba, dum, bum. Commercial.
Yeah.
So then we're at Mike's den. Mike is working, and there's this weird scene with Peter kind of being an annoyance to him, where it's like, would you leave me the fuck alone?
But Christopher Knight in this episode could not be more precious.
Agreed.
I'm sorry. He's there's some really great looks that he gives the camera, and really, I thought really, and this is weird to say, he and Jan are actually acting in this episode,
Oh, yes.
and
Oh, totally.
I really appreciated it.
Yeah. No, all of them. I haven't watched this in a long time. And watching this now with my more mature, very mature actor eyes, this is asking a lot, particularly of Jan. This is asking her to do a
Yeah,
lot of things for a girl who is 12.
yeah.
Holy shit. But
But I loved the scene with him and his dad. He's like he needs
in
an
advance
advance on his thing because he gave his whole thing to Jan,
is allowance. Yes.
all $4 of it,
Yeah. $4.40.
which in this day is $30.
Is that how much it is? He gave her
Yeah, I would.
$30.
Yeah, well, if it were today,
Yeah.
that's how much $4 is worth today.
Okay. Well, if she was putting that together with her own money and her own allowance to buy a wig, you could go to a department. If a department store still existed, you could get a decent wig for $40 or $50 if she
Yeah,
used her own money.
yeah.
So yeah, on clearance, maybe.
But then she got it for $8.
Was it? I didn't even know that.
Well, she said $4, and
Yeah.
she put it with her money, so I assume they get the same amount of allowance. So they
Yeah.
both put in $4. She paid
I guess, yeah.
$8 for a wig.
For a wig. Those were the days. So Peter has also been invited to Lucy's birthday party. And so because he needs this advance on his allowance, because he has to buy her a present. And so he needs 49 cents.
Yeah.
And it's so freaking funny. 49 cents. And this is it. Now, when I was a small child and when I got an allowance and I was able to like buy things for myself at like the convenience store and all that. Maybe when I was 6 or 7 years old in the early 70s, I remember distinctly candy bars were a quarter.
Mm.
And that was recent. They had gone up to a quarter and people were a little bit, whoa. But I was like, I have $1 and I can buy 4 fucking candy bars. Oh my God. So 49 cents was a lot. Kind of like last month when we were talking about Cloris Leachman, elderly Cloris Leachman said, she stole my 25 big ones.
Yeah.
$25? No, 25 cents. Oh, bless. So after Mike gives Peter the money, and you're right, this scene, because there needs to be some breathing room for Peter. What can I do for you? Oh, nothing. I'll just wait. And finally, okay, I'm not going to sit here and have him staring at me while I'm doing my work. What do you want? There is timing here going on. And, it's been well documented how Robert Reed was an actor's actor and trained in Shakespeare and all that. So he certainly was no slouch as a scene partner. But wow, this was really kind of fun the way it played out.
It also showed me, like, because it's well documented how much he loved those kids.
Yes.
So it really showed me, like, I believed it. I believed,
Yes.
like, it was just a charming little scene. And Chris Knight he's so fucking precious.
Yeah. And you didn't doubt this was not a Roseanne or a Simpsons type of a thing where it was like he gives Peter the money and Peter stands there and he's like, goodbye, Peter. Like, okay, we're done. You need to leave now. And it was, again, no animosity in that, nothing. Yeah. Yeah. It's in one of the reunion specials, Florence Henderson was saying that when Robert Reed got his diagnosis and knew that he was probably not long for this world, he did say to her, will you call the kids for me?
Mm.
And Florence breaks down as she talks about it. And it's like, oh. And they do have a moment in the very Brady renovation where they say, Bob and Florence and Anne would have really loved this. Like the moment when it's like, oh, that's right. All the adults are gone now. It's just the kids. And I'm getting misty. Don't let me go there. Must not have feelings. Must not have feelings. Okay. Our next scene is in the department store where Jan is shopping for a wig. Remember department stores?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I miss them. I mean,
Well, like, there's still a Penny's every once in a while,
yeah.
a JC Penney's. There's still but like, I go to the mall in Detroit and there's a JC Penney's there. It's a fucking ghost town.
Is
Like,
it?
there's just, there's nothing that they're selling in there that
Yeah.
you can't get online or at an actual, it's like
At
nobody's
Target or
going,
Walmart or
yeah, nobody's going to Sears to get a washing machine anymore.
Oh, fuck no. Yeah. No one's going to Macy's to buy their
Mm-mm,
couch
mm-mm.
and, and draperies and
Yeah.
things like it's so sad.
What I love is that in the department store, we get to meet the wonderful Marsha Wallace,
Hallelujah.
one of the
Ah.
most underrated, and I've read up on her.
Mhm.
She had a lot of insecurities in her life, like
Yeah.
never feeling good enough, and just one of those actors that you always know you're going to get gold from.
Yeah.
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 She's like a Cloris Leachman. She's like a Toni Collette. She's like a what's her pussy? Joan Cusack.
Yeah.
Or like a Jane Curtin.
Yeah.
You're always gonna get gold from them.
Yeah, you do.
So Marsha Wallace, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Finally won an Emmy for The Simpsons.
The Simpsons. She will probably be best remembered as Ms. Crabapple, Bart's teacher on The Simpsons. And she was, of course, on the Bob Newhart show as Carol, his secretary, from 1972 to 1978. So this predates the Bob Newhart show.
Yeah.
But we grew up with her, I should say, as being so much older than you, I grew up with her as a staple on all the game shows. And she was one of those, was solid, could play any game, was a good partner.
Yep.
And to me, the real testament to what a great comedian she was is that she was always in that final seat on Match Game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you always had your guy up top. Then you'd have Brett Summers, Charles Nelson Riley, and then down below you'd have the dummy seat. That's where you put your Lonnie Andersons, your Charlene Tiltons, your Ethel Mermans, your people who are just kind of not there. And then either
that was known as the guest star seat.
The guest star seat.
Because like that was the one like they could put anybody in and just and they were closest to the host, so they could say, what do you do? What are you working on now? Why when can we see you?
Yeah. And they could look down their dress and they could, Gene Rayburn could lech and drool on them. Speaking of the pussy posse, Gene Rayburn.
That fucking howdy doody looking motherfucker.
That poon hound. But yeah, Brett Summers referred to it affectionately as the dummy chair. That's where you put those. But then you had either Richard Dawson, later Bill Daly in the middle, but you needed that guaranteed hit it out of the park laugh at the end. So that's where you put your Betty Whites, your Fanny Flaggs, your Patty Deutsch. Remember Patty Deutsch?
Oh, bless her.
Yeah. And Marsha Wallace, man, was always in that seat and never didn't deliver. Later, Edie McClurg, they put her there. Edie McClurg would end up in that thing. But, if it's the seat where you put Betty White, it is very critical to the structure of the show to have the funniest thing last.
Right.
And that's Marsha fucking Wallace.
And the great scene with Jan and her.
So good.
So good. It's my own hair.
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
No, it's such a wig. Yeah, I want something crazy, kind of like what you're wearing.
Yeah.
It's my own hair. No, it's not.
I loved the joke, and Jan kind of brilliantly threw it away when she put on that long black wig and she said, this one's called the Midnight Temptress. And Jan goes, oh, I don't think I'll be up that late.
I laughed.
That was a great line.
Great line. And
I
then
don't think
she says,
that late.
Yeah. And we do get the thing where she says, don't you think that's a little mature for you? And she says, well, I'm older than I look. I'm 12. And you're like, oh my God, I thought she was like 10. I didn't even think she
Yeah.
was that old.
Well, I had to find out because Barry Williams was 17. He looks like he's about 14 in this episode.
But,
And
but his voice has changed and
I
all
know,
that.
but
So
he also looked greasy. Like, I always feel like the Bradys always needed a shower.
yeah, a cream rinse or a shampoo or something. Yeah.
Something.
I'll give you
But-
that. Yeah. So there is also a funny joke where she says, oh, let me try this one. And she says, no, you don't want that. That's a handbag. And she goes over and yells at the other clerk, how many times have I told you, don't mix the merchandise?
It makes me, it embarrasses me.
And it embarrasses the customer. So, but it's a lovely interchange. And again, good comic timing, good scene partners. And I mean, asking a lot of a 12-year-old kid to land these jokes and to play this scene. Anyway,
Yeah.
so the next scene, we're back in the living room. Again, Jan comes home to an empty fucking house, not a soul anywhere else as she sneaks in with the wig box. And then cut to her in the bathroom. And it's the first time we see the choice she's made. And she puts on this black wig. Well, I don't know how to describe this. I would love to say, oh, it's like a this style, or it's a Joan Collins, or it's a Dorothy Hamill. Can you help me? I cannot find a reference of what type of a style of wig that is.
Yeah, it's just that, oh, fuck, who had hair like that?
Yeah, like I'm saying, like Joan Collins in the 80s had like a bigger version of it.
You know what? It's like a fucking like Ava Gabor like wig, but like this sounds terrible, but I almost want to say it's like a Marsha Wallace wig.
A little bit, yeah.
Like it's that short in the back and big on top. I don't know. It just
Yeah, it is a very wig style more than it is
Yeah.
an actual way that women wore their hair
yeah,
type of a thing.
it's wiggy.
It's wiggy, but it's curly. It has a lot of volume in the top, but it's got that Ava Gabor thing where it comes down and hugs the back
Yeah.
of the neck and the sides very closely, which is the first tip off that it's a fucking wig. But it
Right.
does cover. It does. I mean, you got it. It does work. And again, while Jan's in the bathroom, take note, there's a shower, no toilet.
No toilet.
They had to add that in the very Brady renovation. So anyway, through Cindy needing to find her hair ribbons, little contrivance here. My hair ribbons, I need them because I'm seeing my friend and they belong to her. Well, Jan tries to hand them out because she doesn't quite want the girls. She's not ready to spring this on them yet. And the girls pull her out and Marcia and Cindy see the wig. And Jan says, so what do you think? And Marcia says, Jan, it looks awful. Unapologetic.
Totally. I mean, that's a big sister right there.
That is
Big sister, bitch. That looks awful.
like with no sense of how do I soften this blow? No filters, no nothing. And when you think of the Brady Bunch movies, the Christine Taylor version of Marcia, how she is, more snobby and insulting to Jan, how they really magnified that for this. You look at this, you're like, oh, this is where they got that. They didn't make that shit up. But
Sure, Jan.
Sure, Jan.
That's her big line. Sure, Jan.
I send that meme so often.
It's a favorite.
It's so fun. So anyhow, she sprung it on the girls, but then we go down to the kitchen and we have Carol and Alice pinning Jan's dress for the upcoming party at Lucy's. And they do a little comedic bit with Alice having the pins in her mouth. So they're having a conversation.
Emmy Award winner, Ann B. Davis.
Emmy Award winner had the Emmy before she even arrived on set for the Brady Bunch.
42-year-old Ann B. Davis.
Still?
Yes.
No, God. It's like she was born. She's like Carol O'Connor. She was born 60. It's so
42.
weird to see her in season 1 with barely any gray in her hair.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But then Mike comes in and Mike is like, I can't find my plans. Oh, Mr. Brady. So it's the bit of Alice talking with the pins in her mouth. And Carol can understand every word perfectly. This is
Because women. Because women.
they get their
Oh.
ovaries synchronized. You know.
Oh.
So then Mike comes in and she's like, where, I don't know, where would you have left your plans? And Alice is like, oh. And Carol says, that's right. It's upstairs in the bedroom. And he's kind of like, huh? How did you? Anyway, comedy. That's a very standard comedy bit. And I'm not mad at it. Not going to lie. Of all the cheesy things that happen.
Because Ann B. Davis is so brilliant at doing it, and Florence is so good at playing off of it. Like it's so quick. It doesn't. There's no question about, of course, what she's saying to Florence. So Florence, who wore her hair like that to cover her hearing aids.
Oh, is that what that was about?
Yeah.
Oh. And in the first couple of episodes, like the first half of the season, I think Florence Henderson was wearing a wig herself because she had taken all her hair off because she was on tour nationally playing Maria in The Sound of Music. Anyway, then we get back to the bathroom. Marcia and Cindy are still assessing Jan in the wig. So Marcia says, Jan, you can't wear that to Lucy Winter's birthday party. And Jan says, I don't see why not. And Marcia says, because you'll look like some kind of kook. That's why.
Yeah.
Again, more shade from Marcia. And Jan, to her credit, is nonplussed. You're just jealous. You're just in the. So that's what's going on there. It's like, okay, you dream your dream. Sure, Jan. So what it is that the dad comes up. The last scene, it was, while you're up there, Mike, getting your plans that you for some stupid reason left in your bedroom, send Jan down because we want to fit her while we're pinning and sewing this dress.
Yeah.
So the cheesiest moment of the episode is him knocking on the bathroom door, Jan with the wig going, oh, wait a minute, Dad. And he's like, go downstairs. Your mother wants you now. Right now? Yes, right now. And she somehow cannot remove the wig quickly. So the choice she makes is to put a towel on her head over the wig.
Yeah.
Because that takes less time than to just rip a wig off your head.
I didn't really like the way Mike just opened the door on his daughter, who could have been pooping.
Yeah.
You know, or,
what? Where?
I don't know. Exactly, in the sink.
He's like, I designed this house.
I know you're not using the bathroom.
I know you're not taking a shit.
I didn't really love the way he just kind of waltzed in.
Yeah,
and
that was
the door.
Creepy. Yeah, so many. But I mean, how many times did Lenny and Squiggy just walk into Laverne and Shirley's apartment? You know, that sitcom thing of where no door is locked, no space is safe from anyone else. But anyway, so in the meantime, we have a little B plot that emerges now. There's a lot that goes on in this episode. Jesus, we have miles to go before we sleep, my love. So then we have Greg and Bobby
out playing basketball.
And the gist of this scene is that I hear that Margie Rimple is going to be at Lucy's birthday party. And you know, she's always hanging on Peter and he hates it. So we need to warn him, right? Or we could not, and be the typical brothers that do shitty things like that to their brother. I
like that.
Yep, totally. That's so realistic. So realistic. Good God.
Cute scene.
So then they go inside and they come into the kitchen while Jan is there in the towel with Alice and Carol. And what happens is they're chiding her about having the towel, about being a swami or a fortune teller. They pull off the towel and the wig is now seen. And again, in perfectly realistic brother fashion, the boys bust out, laugh in her fucking face about it, and make jokes. Also, I believed it.
And I believed that little Eve Plum's feelings were hurt.
Yes.
The look she gives, I was like, oh, sweetheart.
Yes.
Oh.
It's like, oh, baby, you're breaking my heart. What a great little performance. So
But
then Mike,
Alice steps in and gets them out. Let's play a little 2-on-1, giggity.
giggity.
Gets the boys out. Brilliant way to get them out of there. But the parenting moment here that
When Mike enters, and now
touched
the
my
two of them
heart
are like,
a
what the
bit.
fuck is going on?
You have such beautiful hair, but I want to be the real Jan Brady. And he says, Mom says, but Jan Brady has blonde hair.
True.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was just so sweet.
Yeah. And earlier, back when we were in the den and Jan was about to discover the wig idea, she's like, this is always happening to that. And the mother even says, but Jan, remember, you are the one that got invited to the party.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I want Marcia to come to the party. I'll bring that fucking hag sister of yours.
Yeah.
It's like, no, Jan, you were invited. So yeah, the parenting is kind of nice. But she begs them, please let me just wear it to Lucy. She says initially, I want to wear it all the time. But she's like, well, at least let me wear it to Lucy's party. And they're like, well, if it means that much to you. And then Jan's words before we go to commercial are, you'll see, life is going to be so much different for me as a brunette.
If you want to wear it, if it means that much to you, and it's okay with your father.
Yes.
Mm,
Yeah. We're a united
right.
front here.
Yeah. And the man has to make all decisions about this.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Well, no, I think that was because she's like, well, your father is gay and he'd be the one to tell you if it's on
Right.
point or if it's
If
on fleek.
God damn it.
My brain fits. Oh. Then we go up to the girls' bedroom. And now at this point, now with permission from the parents, Jan's getting a little big for her britches, ain't she? A very typically Brady thing. This happens so often in this show. And I remember Barry Williams wrote a book in the 90s called I Was a Teenage Greg. And in that, he literally did the book form of a
I thought it was
rewatch.
called Growing Up Brady.
Growing Up Brady, I Was a Teenage Greg.
No, that you always know there's a colon.
Where there's a colon, I am there.
Mm.
So, but yeah, it's a very common thing of something happening and the kid involved in the plot getting too big for their goddamn britches.
Sure.
So Jan doesn't go too crazy, but she goes just too far enough where she's looking in the mirror and she's admiring herself and blah, blah, blah. And Cindy and Marcia are sitting on the bed opposite her playing cards. Sweet, the sisters playing cards. And so Cindy says, how do you think Kitty Carryall would look with black hair? And Marcia says, the same as Jan. Silly.
Huh? But I'm sorry, a great line reading. She's looking at those cards. She is uninterested in this conversation.
Mhm.
Same as Jan, silly.
Marcia is a fucking bitch in this episode, and I am here for it.
Mm.
God, because again, just the performance and the lackadaisical, again, that's big sister. That is big sisterness. So truthful. Maybe that's what the longevity of this show is these littler moments, not the stupid plots and the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and getting lost in the Grand Canyon shit. It's
running through Kings Island.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
With no bra.
Who ran through Kings Island with no bra?
Jan and Marcia. Them titties be bouncing.
Oh, you are
that.
right. You are so right when they have to get the plans instead of the Yogi Bear poster
Exactly.
out of the canoe. And I fucking know exactly what you're talking about.
And when you watch it now, you can see how it rained that day and also how they have people watching them film. Like they're like they're people just like roped off watching the filming of Alice running through fucking.
And when Alice is running through, there's one moment where she bumps a kid. That kid got knocked off screen. That kid fucking fell down. That she was just because Alice was just going for it.
There's an adult somewhere who's in his 60s now who's like, yeah, I was in an episode of the Brady Bunch. Fucking Alice knocked me over in Kings Island.
That's my shoulder. Boom. Yeah, that's me. That's me right there.
He's got a great story.
But the scene ends with Jan getting into her new look and just saying, well, when people see the three of us, who is going to stand out?
The one in the horrible wig.
Yes, exactly. Then we go to the boys' room. Greg and Bobby are fixing a radio or something.
Yeah, who
Again,
the fuck knows?
bravo for them for trying to give them something to do that's not just basketball or whatever, but
Playing
anyhow,
cards.
or playing cards. At least they didn't throw the cards like Maud.
They have to, right. Smoking in bed.
Smoking in bed and playing cards and throwing them at Walter every time she got mad.
They had
But-
to give them boy things to do.
Yeah. So Peter comes in to wrap Lucy Winter's present, and Bobby cannot stop giggling because he has got this secret, knowing that Margie Rimple is going to be there. And Mike Lookinland, Bobby, I'm sorry, this is not your best work with getting the fake giggles. The oh hi Peter.
Yeah.
Not very well done. But you know,
Peter's reaction, Chris Knight's reaction is great.
yeah. So
and if you don't tell me, I'm gonna tickle you.
yeah, and he tickles it out of Bobby, and he tells him. And then we have a couple of scenes here. This is like
That
our
was
B
the
story.
best though, because maybe not Mike Lookinland thing, but he tickles him, and he finally gets out. Who's gonna be there? Who's gonna Margie Rimple? Oh no! Like
Yeah.
immediately stops.
Yeah.
Immediately has that reaction. You see it come
Yeah.
over Chris Knight's face, and God, he's just precious.
He is. He's good. So then we have a couple of scenes here. We spend a few minutes of screen time here of Peter deciding to pretend to be sick, and then Bobby and Greg going down to the parents and saying, oh, Peter's really sick, and them going up and what's the matter and everything. And then it's like, well, I guess we need to call the doctor. What? Not want to go to the doctor. Oh, so they're like, well, I'm feeling better now. You sure? Yeah, I just, well, tell you what, how about you go to Lucy's party? And then if you still don't feel well, and he's like, okay, shit, didn't work. Who among us has not pretended to be sick and gotten?
I was always very lucky. I was diabetic as a kid. I could just claim low blood sugar.
Yeah, you were so lucky. God,
Very lucky to be a diabetic.
I'm so jealous of you and your diabetic childhood, man.
Yeah.
Some guys get all the luck.
Yeah.
So now we're arriving at the party. Jan's further big-headed delusions continue. They get to the front door and she's like, okay, I can't just be here. I'm going to go around the corner and I want you to announce me, because she is convinced the new Jan Brady is going to be a smash.
And we get David Almeida's favorite sitcom trope.
Oh, presenting. God,
I laughed when that happened.
God, I hate that. Never, ever happens. Never, ever, 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 never, ever. But as the kids collect at the door, Lucy is there and all that. And so there's quite a few kids at this party. Lucy's there. Of course, first thing Lucy says, Margie, Peter's here. Peter's like, God fucking damn it.
I laughed out loud
When Margie appeared.
That poor girl.
That poor
God
child.
love her. She's in another episode.
Yes, I noticed that. And literally her only 2 credits are these 2 episodes.
I wonder why.
She's got to be the daughter of a producer.
She is the daughter of Howard Leeds or something.
Yeah.
She is, or the niece or something. God bless her. It looks like the human equivalent to that bratty kid in Finding Nemo that shakes the bag, that little redheaded kid.
Oh,
Never mind.
Okay. I think I know.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah. Her name is Karen Fulks.
Of course it is.
Foulkes. Karen Fulks.
Oh,
and yeah, she'll be back in season 4, but she has to be a writer or a producer's or one of the actors' daughters or sisters or something, because they did that frequently. Like in the sleepover slumber party episode, Florence Henderson's daughter was in it. Robert Reed's daughter, Sherwood Schwartz's daughter was in multiple, to the point where they wrote she has red hair and she's 5'2", and it's like, gee, who has red hair and is 5'2"? Oh, Sherwood's daughter. How interesting.
Hmm. But we need to talk about Lucy Winters.
But yeah, let's talk about Lucy Winters. Go right
That-
ahead.
That voice.
Is that a voice that should be familiar to audiences, Matthew?
To me, it was immediately familiar from Charlotte's Web. She was Fern in the Charlotte's Web movie.
Was she? Oh,
She, bitch, has worked.
oh.
Did you look up her fucking IMDb?
Well, what I did look up and find was that her character's name, Lucy, I don't think it was originally that until they cast her, but they changed the name of the character to Lucy as a nod to her because she had, for the last 3 years, been the voice of Lucy Van Pelt in the Charlie Brown TV specials. So that's a nice little nod right there.
Yeah.
To her, but I didn't look at any of her future credits, but she's been a voiceover artist for, like, is she still working?
She left the business to become a nurse, and she has just, like, her last credit was like 82 or something, and then she did like some, like, Santa's Magical Elf, one of those straight to VHS tapes and whatever.
Yeah.
But God, that bitch has worked. Like,
Yeah.
she was on everything.
Oh, yes. Yeah. She is a veteran performer. She's probably one of the kids. She probably auditioned to be one of the 6 Brady kids way
Yeah.
back when. And, you know, they remembered her because, yeah, and she's good. She doesn't have much to do, but the job that this character serves, she absolutely provides it.
What a fascinating little career, though, like doing those voiceovers, like bitch recording the voice of Fern, sitting next to Paul Lynde and Agnes Moorehead and Debbie Reynolds.
Yeah. It's like,
Fucking doing
who-
Charlotte's of God love her.
yeah.
She's got stories, I bet.
Oh, God, I'm sure.
I'd like to talk to her.
Well, find her. I think she's on Facebook. Her name is Pamelyn Ferdin.
Yeah.
PAMELYNFERDIN. And yeah, she has, she's got a lot. Her reaction as the other kids are gathering around the door when Jan, you know, and even the soundtrack. By the way, this is a single camera show with a laugh track. When you realize it was somebody's job to splice together all of these laughs to decide this is X funny, this is X plus 2 funny. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is like, it's kind of mind boggling. It's like, wouldn't it have just been easier to do in front of a fucking audience? Jesus. But the music, when he presenting the new Jan Brady, we get ta-da in the soundtrack. And she says, Jan, this is the funniest joke you've ever played. And Jan's like, joke? Yeah, you know what? It would be great for Halloween. and the kids laugh, and I do have to credit the direction of this. The kids aren't like, ew, yeah. The kids say, oh, this is a funny joke and it'd be great for Halloween. Yeah, the laughter is not taunting laughter. It's camaraderie laughter. But
And
Jan,
it also tells you, if I can interrupt, it also
Please.
tells you that they like Jan. They all
yes,
think Jan is hilarious. And that's so all of this is in her head, that she's
Yeah.
being ignored, that she's
Yeah.
not popular, that people don't like Jan Brady, that she's invisible. They think, oh, here's Jan, the wacky funster
yeah.
that Jan Brady is. And it just hit different as an adult, I think.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing I appreciated was there was no cruelty
Yeah.
in it, in this decision that she's made. They are thankfully only ascribing jokiness to it, not stupidity, not idiotic, not what's wrong with you. But still, Jan is upset. Obviously, we know Jan better than that. Jan has another crisis and she runs off. And thankfully, Peter is there and he says, guys, it wasn't a joke. She was serious. And they're like, really? And the scene ends with Margie reaches her arm around to grab Peter's arm. And Christopher Knight does a vaudevillian worthy, perfect slow burn of looking down at the arm like, oh shit.
Yes, I was
Bravo, kudos, impeccable, Christopher Knight.
like,
Also
Oh.
12. I think he and Eve are the same age. So he is a 12-year-old boy who, I don't know if he was directed or if it's just instinct because he was a professional and had a lot of credits at this point. But the fact that he does that slow burn look down like, oh, God damn it. So then Mike and Carol are home watching a movie. And again, little
And-
cheesy Carol with the tissues. I have to wipe my tears. Oh, wasn't that sad, Mike?
Yeah. When the
And-
TV miraculously shows up in the living room, another
Yeah.
TV trope.
Yeah,
that-
when it's there, when it's not. Yeah.
We've been through the whole episode with no TV, but now it's here. And also like knowing that those scenes were uncomfortable for Bob, like when they had to like kiss and like make out and like be sexual towards each other. Flo has said how those scenes were uncomfortable for him. And
Mhm.
when she jumps on him and like I see a truly lovely relationship between
Oh.
Florence and Bob. Like
Yes.
she was from the theater, for Christ's sake. She was from musical theater. She was
Hello.
like, bitch, I don't care if you're gay.
Yeah.
And that's why we love fucking Florence Henderson.
She was
And she
one
was
of a kind.
and like just, as we got older, she kind of matured with us to the point, I think, like towards the end, like when she was like, it wasn't uncommon to see Florence say the F word, or something. And
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like she was like, okay, like, God, I love Florence Henderson.
Do you remember in the 90s on The Ladies Man, that awful sketch that
Yes.
what's his name used to do? And he did Who Wants to Be My Hoe? Or no,
Yes.
Who Wants to Be My Skank? And so she's like, oh, I'm ready to be skanky. And she's playing up the sunshine and she's doing all these double entendres. We'd go right up the Hershey Highway in Hershey, Pennsylvania, where there's a great restaurant. And it was Florence playing up everything as far as it is well documented that the squeaky clean mom image was just an image. She was a sassy, awesome fucking lady.
The Brady Bunch movie at the end when she's grandma.
Yeah.
And they go to her and she's like, "What the crap, Jan?"
Yes.
That
Yes.
kind of allowed us to really appreciate Florence Henderson for who
Yeah.
she cut the crap, Jan.
So Jan comes home from the party. She's upset.
Wig in hand.
Wig in hand. Took the wig off. Yep. And she says to them, the kids laughed and thought this was a joke. And she said, you were right. I look like a freak. And again, this is important, how the parenting is. And she said, I don't know which one of them says it, says, you don't look like a freak. You just don't look like you. And then Mike, and I think maybe you've learned a valuable lesson. When cheaters cheat you, you're actually cheating yourself. When you cheat the other cheaters, no kidding. That's from the other movie.
You did. We would. You will. We are. You should. I did. We will. That was that great phone call, Gary fucking Cole.
God, those movies are fun. I want to watch one of them now. God damn it. So then, just as Mike is saying, you've learned a valuable lesson, maybe. Before he has a chance to go into one of his Mike Brady lectures, the other kids come in. And so Peter says, why didn't you wait? I would have walked you home. So I got to credit the writers that it's like, okay, apparently this is someone in the neighborhood. These are not just friends they go to school with. They're friends in the neighborhood where they can just walk to the house. So that's good. So Lucy left her own party to come and say how sorry she is. And she even reinforces, Jan, we figured it had to be a joke. Your own hair is so pretty.
We're all jealous of it.
Margie says we all envy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Margie would probably add, and I envy your face. but we are not here to insult the looks of a child.
Bless her heart.
There we go. I was going to say, no matter how off center they may or may not be.
Woof.
How clearly casting was like, okay, for Margie, let's put out a casting call for an ugly child.
Mm.
Yeah, preferably with glasses and very, very prominent teeth. And we'll put her in pigtails, ponytails, never not ugly. So
And we need a ginger. We need a ginger.
and make her a ginger so she has no soul. Yes.
Ah. I'm sure she's lovely.
But bless her heart, like you say, bless her heart. I'm sure that ugly duckling has turned into a swan. I'm sure. So Lucy tenderly, genuinely, heartfeltly says, so will you come back to the party with us? Like, as in, we really genuinely want you there, Jan. That's a lovely moment. And again, our actress, she nails it as far as the tone of what it needs to be. And so Jan does think about it. She takes a minute and she's like, yeah, I think I would like to. And I think even Florence Henry says, go do it. Like, what the fuck? Come on, go.
Get out.
Get
out of
out.
the house.
Yeah, I was just attacking your father on the couch, and I think he got a half chub by some shocking surprise. I think he was thinking about Roddy McDowell. But anyway, just as they're like, okay, where we go. So Margie says, come on, Peter. And Peter, perfectly timed, pulls his arm away from her and says, not a chance.
Not a chance.
At which point, Peter, I thought we had an agreement.
Not a chance.
But
oh,
I mean,
God.
so
fucking precious.
yeah.
He could not be more.
And again, at 12 years old, this is the beginning and end of the world. This is like, the party is ruined. My life is over. You know, the little things that are big things, little deals that are big deals. And just perfectly played. And then so finally they go and they leave. And our final button, our final joke is Mike turns to Carol and says, he's shy, like father, like son. And she turns and says, like heck. Ha ha! And the boxes all appear, the grid, the infamous grid. Whoever came up with that to say, what's something, you know, they didn't imagine how iconic that would become, having this grid to fucking help us sort out how many damn bodies are on this show.
Well, Sherwood was famous for that. Like, every theme song had to tell the story of the show. So you knew that. Gilligan's Island was the same way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So true.
So,
but we're not done yet, Matthew. No. We have to have our tag.
Yeah.
We haven't had enough laughs for Alice. So we come back from the commercial for, Postum coffee substitute and X-Lax pills and
pork chops and applesauce.
Yeah, Chesterton cigarettes. Yeah. Alice is now trying on the wig. So the wacky visual is now Alice has this crazy wig that you and I cannot figure out how to describe 50 years later.
Yeah.
And so she comes in. So she's got the wig on. Mike and Carol come in with the groceries. So they have a reason to be there. And she's like, what do you think? And they stammer their way through and they cannot find a nice thing to say. So she realizes it's probably not going to work. So she pulls the wig off and says, oh, well, I can always shave it and use it for a shower cap. Dun, da, 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 dun, da, 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 dun, da, dun, bum. Roll credits.
I feel like we just went through this we went through a Brady Bunch episode like film students go through Citizen Kane.
I know.
For Christ's sake.
And I loved every minute, Matthew.
Wonderful.
I
need to revisit the Brady Bunch. I need to put that on as background music and background stuff.
Oh, I can't imagine about it. Because again, we know all of them.
Yeah.
There are so many moments where it's like, oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, that's right. They brought the basket of food on the camping trip. Oh, that's right. They're studying. The boys don't want to eat it. Now Jan goes, it's finger licking good. Those little things where you're like, that is in my brain. What is not in my brain? Lines in a show at Sleuth's Mystery Dinner Theater that I fucking wrote, where I still go on stage and go, what the fuck is the line? What am I saying? What's happening here?
Well, that's in my brain. You know what's not?
What's not?
How to invest money,
Oh,
how to do taxes, how to do
yeah.
how
How
to
to plan
live.
for your financial future,
Right,
how to
exactly.
retire. Yeah.
None
Ooh.
of that, but I can tell you exactly
You just sang 1, 2. Tell me, who
who
are
are
you?
you,
The Bears.
Bears.
We knew it. Both of us did. And but here's the thing: whatever it is, that whatever the longevity, the so many reasons, so much speculation about the staying power, the longevity of this. How lovely you and I have connected. We always connect on certain things, but the fact that you and I could both do that song, you and I could go out and probably make 3 friends right now, going to somebody and talking about the Brady Bunch.
Mm,
Somebody over 40.
mm.
But that it's such a thing that so many people know and are into.
And
And
it's a lovely, iconic thing that I think we as a nation, we as a people, have that connection. It's one of those things that connects us as Americans, David.
yeah, like Mr. Rogers, same thing.
Exactly. Captain Kangaroo. Well, remember the Brady Bunch tried a spin-off with a multiracial.
Kelly's Kids, was that it? Kelly?
What was
Ken
that?
Berry? Yeah, it was called Kelly's Kids. And it was Ken Berry, their next door neighbor, and they adopt an orphan,
Yeah.
a little white boy, and he misses his 2 best friends from the orphanage. And he says, Dwayne and Steve. And I'm sad because they're like, well, why don't we adopt Dwayne and Steve? And they meet them. Dwayne is black and Steve is Asian.
Hmm.
And they say, we don't give a shit.
And
And
America wasn't ready for it.
no, it was, before different strokes.
Mm.
So, but
That is something you need to watch, David. There's it's not a documentary, it's like a TV movie of the week of the different strokes.
oh, the behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's not like the Facts of Life one where they're
It's
like
not a documentary, it's a narrative.
It's a TV movie
Yeah.
where someone is playing Conrad Bain and
Yes.
someone is playing Mrs. Garrett. And I saw it. I don't remember what I fucking saw it on. I think it's on
YouTube, I would imagine.
No, it's on one of the streaming services.
Shut up. Well,
But
they made one about the Brady Bunch too. They did one of those about this. Remember, the ads were it showed like a pool or a hot tub and a girl in a bikini stepping down into it, like totally cheesecake, and it said Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. And it was allegedly about the time when Barry Williams and Maureen McCormick were dating. So this was trying to imply some steamy stuff going on with these teenagers.
mm.
So it was probably on Fox, probably.
Well, this has been delightful, David.
How many Talkaholic chips? I give the Brady Bunch. I don't care about all the cheesiness. I don't care about all of the tropes and silliness, such as Jan not being able to pull off the wig and putting on the towel. That type of stuff abounds in this show. Don't give a shit. This
No.
is my childhood. 5 Talkaholic chips. I might even give it 6.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've gone. This ain't like Raising Hope. We had a few things to say about this one.
Jesus, we had to discuss this.
But that's it. We had to go scene by scene because there were so many good tidbits. And again, I think my favorite thing of all of this is just what an apologetic bitch Marsha is.
Yeah.
It just that filled my soul with happy. Oh my God. All right. Well, Matthew, this has been fun, and we're going to wrap this up. And this concludes another episode of TV Talkaholics. Thank you so much for listening. We love you, dear listeners. Smooches and goodbye. Mwah.
Bye, David.
Bye, Matthew.
We'll make you happy.
Come and knock on our door.
Well, we're moving on now.
1, 2, 3, 4.
compromising, enterprising, anything but tranquilizer.
Here's the story.
You take